All my life I've been fascinated by the ocean. And I've marveled at the men and women that have explored its very depths. I wanted sea time, and I got it. 20 years in the United States Merchant Marines as a navigation officer. And that has taken me to some of the most far-reaching and remote places on the planet. I wanted to see for myself what was underwater, so I have over 30 years experience as a scuba diving instructor and over 1 year of bottom time logged. I wanted to understand the marine environment, so I got an education in marine science, and I have a clear understanding of marine ecosystems. My name is Captain John Gibbons, and I would like to share that knowledge and experience with you, and hope you join me in a fun adventure, which will be full of life, where we all become ocean stewards and think ocean. Aloha and welcome to Think Ocean. I'm your host, Captain John, and in this episode I'm going to take you to Koloko, Honokohau o Kona in search of tiger sharks. Today we're learning more and more about these magnificent animals, the shark. But believe it or not, there was a time not too long ago that just that very word, shark, evoked your deepest, most primal fears. But the times are now upon us to learn and understand and appreciate these animals, the shark. For without them, marine ecosystems and large populations of marine animals, such as dolphins and seals, who doesn't love those, will be in peril. Prehistoric? Yes. Sharks' ancestries, their cousins, date back 450 million years ago. And believe it or not, the shark has changed very little in the last 150 million years. That's because their bodies are designed magnificently for survival and life in the sea. To quote the greatest ocean explorer of our times, Jacques Cousteau, the shark is serene. The shark is savage, yet always beautiful. Join me as I invite 3 special guests to this show, all with different backgrounds and experiences with the tiger shark. We have Charlie Fasano, an ocean researcher from the Shark Research Institute. A very good friend of mine, Chico Mahi, who will give us the Hawaiian perspective of the tiger shark. And a very fine young man who is an ocean activist, 13-year-old Pablo, who is fascinated by these tiger sharks and wants to see them survive into the future. Join us as we discover the beauty and splendor of the tiger shark. See these sharks in their natural state. We are not feeding these sharks. We are not getting them worked up in a frenzy full of bloodlust. We want to see how these sharks interact with humans without that interference of food. We swim with them freely. They swim with us. If they don't want to be there, then they just swim away. We do not attract them with blood, and there's no feeding. This is one of the few places in the world where tiger sharks come in on a consistent basis, and we can study and observe their behaviors. I'd like everybody to meet a good friend of mine. His name is Charlie Fasano, and he's doing research work with the Shark Research Institute, cataloging the tiger sharks that come into this very spectacular bay. Aloha, Charlie, and good morning.
Good morning, Captain John. Aloha, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Charlie, can you tell us about your work that you're doing with the Shark Research Institute?
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to. The Shark Research Institute's role in Hawaii is to maintain a identification catalog of tiger sharks only. It'll be a collaborative catalog between the institutions here in Hawaii. My particular role is here at Honoko'o Harbor. I'm cataloging the tiger sharks that we see on a routine basis in and out of the harbor. I've been diving this site for over 15 years, and we see the same sharks quite frequently. So we're modeling our identification catalog after a study that was done in French Polynesia with cataloging tiger sharks.
And so you're observing these sharks in their natural state, is that correct?
Oh yes. Yes, tiger sharks globally in the subtropics hang out at harbors. They've been doing it for centuries. Fishermen have been throwing away their scraps of bycatch, extra bait, chum at harbor mouths, and sharks just naturally predate there. Tiger sharks especially have built a role over these centuries to be the top, well, let's just call it the top carbon absorber. They keep the harbor clean by cleaning up all the big dead organic matter before it attracts disease. So tiger sharks have an intricate role here, and we see them naturally here at Honoko'o Harbor quite frequently.
That's very special to have a place where we can see these tiger sharks frequently, and they come in their natural state.
Correct.
Now, is there a good time? What would you recommend would be the best time for someone who wants to see these tiger sharks to come here and see the sharks?
Best time to see tiger sharks is when you're at the 58th minute of your 60-minute dive and you have 700 pounds of 50 bar left in your tank. They know that when you're not going to hang out there for a long time anymore.
So what kind of sharks are we seeing here, Charlie?
We're seeing mostly female tiger sharks 99% of the time here at Honoko'o Harbor.
And what do you think they're coming in here for other than feeding?
Well, we see them quite frequently in the summer times, and when they're in their late gestation periods, you can see that they're obviously showing pregnancy and getting even more pregnant as the summer goes along. And then by the end of summer, they're skinny again. So I suspect that this area here with the spur and groove formation of the corals in Koloko Honoko'o National Park is a tiger shark birthing area.
Wow.
They stay here to give birth.
So the sharks are large and obviously pregnant at the beginning of summer, and then at the end of summer, like right now it's October, we see them skinny. So you think they're giving birth here?
Yes, I do suspect that Koloko Honoko'o National Park is a tiger shark birthing area.
Wow, wouldn't it be awesome to get some images of that?
That's what we're striving for. That's what we're hoping. Why don't we get out there and see if we see any sharks?
Let's see if we can see it.
Mahalo, Captain. In the mid-90s, I was very fortunate enough to go to Midway Atoll, and we dove with gray reef sharks and Galapagos sharks. Between 2004 and 2007, I went to Diego Garcia Atoll out in the Indian Ocean, and I had great experiences with gray reef sharks and blacktip reef sharks. And about 3 years ago, I was very fortunate to discover Koloko Honoko'o Kona
and I am now diving with tiger sharks, and it's been a fabulous experience. I hope you enjoy this next section of the film, which is the best footage that I have of the tiger sharks in the last 3 years.
Hey, how's it? Good morning. Aloha. My name is Chico. Come from the Mahi family. The mano is the part of Amakua, which is a tiger shark. And I respect John for doing all that stuff. He's, a good brother of mine. He goes diving. He even showed me how to dive. So now I'm a diver too. I go diving with him.
It's always good to see you, Rada. Chico, tell us about the tiger shark and its amakua and its significance to the Hawaiian culture.
Tiger shark is, they call it the mano, which is part of our Hawaiian culture. And the amakua is part of our God, our family, We respect them a lot. And I also thank John for respecting it a lot too and showing people about what mano is about, And it's within our family. Like for instance, my grandma, my mom told me, my mom Hannah Mahi told me about my grandma and her. They found the pihis with her sisters, and my grandma fell in a cave, and she fell on 2 sharks. The sharks brought her out of the cave, and she walked off the sharks, and that was the mano, the tiger sharks. I guess they was sleeping, and just so happened she fell on the sharks. So, my mom told me that she just seen my grandma Mary Hulihe'e Mahi walk off a shark, and that was pretty cool. And I respect them, I respect them for doing that.
The sharks will take care of you maybe sometimes.
Oh yeah. I've been around a lot of sharks too. I go longline fishing, and I came across this big shark and was all tangled up with our line. Was like 5 miles of our line all tangled up on the shark, and like from 10 p.m. at night till 4 in the morning, we untangled the whole thing, rolled the shark around. I was petting the shark. It was a big tiger shark. I seen all the stripes on it. It was like, I stepped back when I first seen the shark came up to the boat. That was gnarly. That was really big. But I understand that was Mama Kua, so We untangled the whole shark. My captain actually told me, "Is this your Amakua?" And I said, "Yes, it is." He said, "Well, get over here. We're gonna untangle this shark." So we did. And then his Amakua was the Honu, which is a turtle. And his um, Amakua, we got tangled up to it afterwards. Like a month after, we had a big turtle and was all tangled with our line. So we had to untangle that because that was his Amakua. So we did. We took that up, just to respect the ocean. We did all that.
And how do you get your Amakua as a Hawaiian? Does somebody give it to you, or is it just comes natural?
It comes natural.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I have in my heart of being that as my mana, as my Amakua, and that's what I like, in my life. It's my spirit. And then like my brother, he does the taro, which is the kalu, and that's his spirit, and he's like part of the farm, the Hawaiians. We have a lot of things like the pueo, the honu, the manu, the eel. Everybody has an amakua in Hawaii. The manu is part of my spirit. But I've always been around the ocean all my life, and I love it. It's good. I would like to see people have respect for them because they're out there. They're out there cleaning up the ocean for us, and we need something like that. We clean the ocean, but they also feed by accident, people. It's because they go diving, they catch the fish, and with a spear, and blood gets all over the place, and they're hungry, and they just don't mean to eat you, but they do. I thank you for everything, John.
Mahalo, Chico.
Brother. Aloha.
Right on, brother.
God bless.
I'd like to thank Chico for that candid talk on Hawaiian culture and sharks. I'm about to introduce you to Pablo. He's 13 years old and he goes scuba diving with tiger sharks. But first, I'd like to shed some light on two extraordinary women that lead the way in shark research, understanding, and conservation. First is a fine young woman by the name of Ocean Ramsey. Ocean Ramsey brings attention to sharks by actively free diving with tiger sharks and great white sharks. She has been known to freely swim with deep blue, known to be the largest great white shark in the world. Her work helps us understand the fact that they are not undiscriminating man-eaters or monsters of the sea. They're just sharks. Just sharks. Ocean Ramsey is probably the world's leading shark conservationist. And if you'd like to follow her work, please follow the links on the screen below. And to the legend of shark research and our modern day understanding of sharks, Dr. Eugenie Clark. For many decades, Dr. Clark was a professor of marine biology at the University of Maryland. She did decades of research diving and programs with many esteemed institutions such as Scripps and Woods Hole. She joined Jacques Cousteau on his voyages of shark discoveries and helped bring to life the fact that some sharks don't need to move in order to breathe. Her 1969 published book, The Lady and the Shark, brought worldwide acclaim and began the process of our modern day understanding and respect for sharks. I have a book titled Shadows in the Sea, and I had the pleasure of meeting her in 1988 and asked her to sign the page with her picture on it. To show how far we've come, the section of the book about her is about her tiger shark raising program. You see, She had a large sea-fed aquarium, and she was successfully raising tiger shark pups. People who lived in the area in the 1960s thought she was some sort of shark witch and poisoned the tank and killed all the juvenile tiger sharks dead.
The Tiger Shark dive is one of my favorite dives because it's one of the only places where you can see the tiger sharks and the dolphins swimming together. You'll be diving and you'll see a pod of dolphins. And like 30 seconds later, you'll just see the tiger shark like swim out of the blues. Before my first tiger shark encounter, I was a little nervous. I didn't really know what to expect. But I realized like really fast that they're more curious than they are aggressive. They're not like the beasts that people think they are. My favorite thing about going on the tiger shark dive is probably seeing the jacks. They're like super huge, about 90 pounds. They come right up to you like you're not even there. You'll see like big uluas. It's kind of like you are a fish. Like they don't see you as like someone like swimming by them and they swim away really fast. They'll actually swim at you and like try and figure out what you're doing in the water.